everybody, and welcome back to the Rooftop Club podcast. How is everybody tonight, or today, or this afternoon? Whatever time you're listening to this, I hope you are having a wonderful day. Also, a happy and blessed Ramadan to everyone. I hope that this time of the year is full of blessings and amazing things for you, and I hope that we are able to help as many people as we can during this time and collect as many virtues as we can, become a better person, become a better Muslim. And I hope whatever good deeds we start doing this Ramadan, we can carry them on for life. I'm wishing you all a time full of blessings and forgiveness. I feel so happy and so different during the time of Ramadan, and almost never do I want it to go. I feel so sad when it's the end of Ramadan. Like, I genuinely feel sad because I don't know, there's just something so changed in the air when it's Ramadan. Obviously, the air is changed. It's like a time full of blessings. So, of course, we feel great. I have come up on the rooftop today before the night has completely fallen. I can still see a bit of like a horizon line, the slightest yellow color in the lowest part of the sky, but the stars are shining and out, and the moon is so prominent. And I don't know how long this will take me to record, but right now the moon is bright white, but as we've seen in our past episodes that a bright moon does not mean that it's gonna stay that way. Mostly when I say that it was such a bright moon, it usually ends up being a red moon by the end of the recording. So right now it's quite a white moon. And again, I would like to comment on the fact that it's such a clear night tonight. There are no clouds and there's no weird smoke or fog or anything like that. So that's really a plus point. I was thinking about recording today, but it wasn't 100% planned. But as soon as I stepped out on my rooftop, everything was calling to me to record and say something, especially the night sky, and of course, the night sky. I look at the stars so much, so it shouldn't be weird or it shouldn't be a new thing for me. But tonight, I'm thinking like the stars are extra twinkly. Like I can literally feel the stars twinkle, twinkle. So it really made me happy. It was such a good idea, I think. Now, every time that I come up on the rooftop and I want to record, I'm so proud of myself for making my podcast a rooftop podcast, like to make my rooftop the driving force behind the whole podcast. Because I swear, every time I come up here and look up at the stars, every time I stand below this wide, beautiful, mesmerizing night sky, I feel so inspired to say something and to work on my podcast and to talk to you guys. It has been a wonderful journey so far. I know my recording schedule is a bit off these days, or not exactly recording schedule, but like the uploading schedule. I don't know if it's with everyone, but YouTube takes so much time to upload something. When I upload on Spotify, it's not that big of a deal. It kind of gets uploaded in maximum an hour, not even that. And YouTube, last time it took me a whole day, like a whole 24 hours, and that was insane. And I had to cancel a few times and start again, and it was such a messy thing uploading on YouTube. But I hope it doesn't happen this time. So yeah, my schedule is a bit off, mainly because I'm suddenly so busy. I have a job now. Life update: I have a job, and well, the adults were right. The responsibilities of a job, of an adult life, leaves you not exactly much time for yourself. And I am experiencing that firsthand for the first time. I was busy in my life before as well, like with studies and, uni and college and exams and whatever. But this is so different because I don't think I felt this tired after coming back from university that I feel after coming back from job. But I get so tired, and after that I feel no energy to do anything in life. And unfortunately, all my weekends are always packed with either something related to my job or something related to my family and guests, which takes so much time and effort. Like, I understand that guests are a blessing of Allah, but I just don't find any time for myself lately, and I'm kind of bothered by everything. Spring is in the air. There are flowers everywhere around me, Alhamdulillah, and they look amazing. I used to never like spring. Like, never in my life have I ever said that spring was my favorite season, even though, to be honest, it's literally the prettiest season. Uh, well, actually, no. But still, right now it's spring, and since I can see so many flowers and so many colors and greenery everywhere, I do feel good about it. So I'm gonna enjoy the spring as well. Enjoyed the winter, I'm gonna enjoy the spring. It's kind of hot and cold. Some days it's really hot, and some days it's really cold, and sometimes it's raining, and sometimes it's too windy. I think that's a transition season for us. It's all over the place, but it's kind of annoying. Some days I'm like deep inside my blankets, and some days I'm just like, take these off me. I feel so hot. So I don't know what to do. Spring is also the time when there are festivals going around everywhere, and all kinds of festivals and carnivals and galas. And even at my job, tomorrow we have a spring festival, or more like a flower exhibition, where we are divided into three teams, and each team has to decorate their designated area according to spring and flowers and colors. And the best decorated area, or the best decorated team or house, whatever you want to call it, would win a prize. It's just like a fun side activity. Like I told you, like, spring festivals and carnivals are going on everywhere, and this is just a flower exhibition. There's a bigger event also coming up. That would be, I think, later in April. But anyways, tomorrow's that, and I was preparing today for that. Got really tired. I was fasting, and I hope that I would win tomorrow because I think my house is very well prepared and decorated. So we'll see. Anyways, even though I'm talking about all the different colors and vibrant themes and stars, still, I think I wanted to record this episode today because, well, firstly, I did want to record on this topic, but secondly, I am feeling this way right now, so I thought might as well just talk about it. And that is the feeling of overwhelm and the numbness that comes as a result of it, or the numbness that comes as a solution for it, like your brain kind of numbs in reaction to being overwhelmed, because if your brain or some function of your body is at one extreme, then for the solution you have to take it to the opposite extreme. Well, a bird just interrupted us. So let's talk about the feeling of overwhelm today. Overwhelm is a feeling that I am way too familiar from, because maybe I get overwhelmed way too easily. Maybe. Or maybe it's like an introvert thing. I don't know, but I think get overwhelmed really easily, and it's kind of not fun at all. Feeling overwhelmed sucks. It drains your energy and makes you feel so tired and makes you want to stop everything. And then, right after the episode of feeling overwhelmed, you just feel extremely numb. I don't know if this happens with everyone, but this happens with me. Every time that I feel overwhelmed, the next thing that I feel is just an episode of too much silence, and both of these are extremely uncomfortable. It's safe to say that I'm feeling overwhelmed because A, I started a new job, have to interact with so many people now, and all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but I think at whatever time I would have started a job, it would have felt like it was sudden because it is such a big change from whatever your life is before. So, yeah, A, starting a new job, B, spring. Man, yeah, spring is beautiful and the flowers make you happy, but all these functions and events and carnivals and just celebrations, it's good. It's good. I really feel happy that people are enjoying and having fun, but it's overwhelming. It is. Thirdly, well, some of you might think that this is the main thing, but it's not. But thirdly, as I'm recording this episode today, it's my birthday. Yes. And I am the kind of person who really doesn't like birthdays, and especially when it's their own birthday, because there's just too much attention on you. And even like generally, I don't like celebrating my birthday. I don't like my birthday. I am so happy that I was born. I'm grateful to my parents, grateful to Allah, but the birthday, I don't like this day. So every time my birthday is coming up, this anxiety starts to creep in and accumulate inside of me, and it's like boom on the birthday. So today, on this birthday, I am feeling extra overwhelmed, I guess, and simultaneously just as silent and numb. I don't know how that makes sense, but it makes sense because it is what I'm going through right now. So I don't know how it works. As for me, I think coming up on the rooftop alone when it's night and the stars are out works as the best tranquilizer for my overwhelm because it puts me in a very peaceful place. It gives my thoughts a broader place to be in and not be confined and create all that anxiety. I remember this diagram in chemistry where we were studying about gases and gaseous molecules, and in the diagram I think there was this jar kind of thing, and the round molecules were shown colliding with the jar. I think this diagram is in Boyle's law or Charles' law. I don't remember, but I remember looking at that diagram and feel so much anxiety because whenever I'm anxious or whenever I'm overwhelmed, that's exactly how I feel. To me, it feels like those molecules are me and I am constantly colliding with the walls of the jar, and there's this tension being created inside. Man, those diagrams really made me anxious. And whenever I'm anxious, I literally feel like those diagrams, like my thoughts are logged and like banging on the walls of my head. So when I come up, it feels like the jar lid has been opened and the molecules are out, and whew, now you can breathe and relax. To me, the worst outcome of being overwhelmed is how I act with people or in front of people. These are kind of same things, but not really. I feel really weird when I'm overwhelmed and I feel so agitated and I feel like I need to escape somewhere. The gas molecule that is me wants to escape the jar, and that's why I kind of avoid people or give them, or I feel like that I tend to talk to them in a very uninterested tone, or like I'm not focusing on them because I'm not. And maybe they don't feel this way because I don't think anyone has ever pointed it out to me. So I think maybe it can be in my head, but even if it's in my head, it feels so bad to treat people that way. And if I actually do that, it feels still horrible. Because the last thing I would ever want is to make someone feel like they did something wrong. And it's not a good thing. Don't ever make someone feel like they did something wrong when something is wrong with you. So I kind of now explain to people that I'm really feeling like overwhelmed right now, so they know that there is something going on. Well, but I only tell my friends or people that I'm really close with. So yeah, people at my job or any other place, I wouldn't tell them. And if I act this way with them, it feels horrible. The second thing that I hate about being overwhelmed is that you can't remember anything. Your mind cannot register anything. The doors are shut. It feels like things are going inside, but they are going inside a black hole. And we all know the stories of black holes. Nothing comes out. So it's now even worse because I remember today at job, so many people have said so many things to me, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember those things. And those were instructions. So I'm kind of I'm kind of a bad employee today. But it's all right. I'll ask them again or anything that I have to do. But yeah, it sucks because I remember, since this has been going on for a few days, I remember my dad was telling me some things yesterday, and those were also some important points. And I do not remember those, and I don't feel like asking about them again because there's just no point. Those were random things, but still important things. But now I think if ever in life those would come up again, I would, I guess, ask then, or just say, "Oh, you did tell me about that? Okay, maybe. I don't think you did." I'm quite an actor. Yeah, so forgetfulness and foggy brain is the second thing that I just really don't like about being overwhelmed because, well, you stay functioning from the outside, but your inside is all just dead and dumb and blind and deaf. Everything. And it's not very fun for the normal me to put up with the things of the overwhelmed me. Yeah, too many jobs for the normal me. Am I even making sense at this point? I hope I am. Also, overwhelm is not that easy to treat. It's not just like I come up on the rooftop and whoosh, now I'm feeling all fine. I require so much time up here alone at night to be able to feel okay again. And like whatever works for you, the overwhelm needs so much of the time spent doing that thing to go away. And often in life, we don't have that much time. And another really stupid thing about this agitated feeling is that if you don't get 100% healed by doing the healing activity and you end the activity midway and go back to your life, the overwhelm comes back full force. It's like a black and white thing. It's there or it's not there. At least for me, it's there or it's not there. There's never like an in between thing that, oh, I was up on my rooftop for a long time, now I feel uh mildly overwhelmed. There's no such thing in my brain as moderately or mildly overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed or I'm not overwhelmed. And if I don't get enough time to wear off my overwhelm, it stays there full force. And now, if I come back to what comes after being overwhelmed, that stupid numb feeling, that's really bad as well because, again, since you're numb, you're uninterested in anything and everything, and it really sucks because you can't spend your life being like that, and especially when your life is not limited to your room and you have to go out, you cannot do that. And as a result, what you do is, or what I do is, start pretending. I'm a pretentious freak. So many times in my life I'm just like pretending to be interested because, well, there's also a people pleaser inside this whole mess of a brain, and as I told you, I don't like to make people feel that I'm uninterested in their things or in our shared things or just things. And I don't like to, just like be at an arm's length with everyone because they don't deserve that. So I start pretending, and I guess I guess you can call it like fake it till you make it, but I don't feel great about it. I don't feel good about it. I feel bad about it. It's like a whole feedback loop from hell. I recently started reading the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson, and ever since I have read the name of this phenomena, I don't know if it's like a real name or Mark Manson gave this phenomena this name. It's a name now I use so much in life because it was something that I used to do so much. It's called the phenomena of feedback loop from hell, where it's like if you feel angry, then there comes a point when you start feeling angry about the fact that you are angry, and it makes you feel more angry. Do you get it? It's the feedback loop from hell, and it's so true, and it's hell. Yeah. Ever since I read that, nothing has changed in my life. I'm still badly stuck in the feedback loop from hell, but now I just have a name for it. And I sure as hell do use that name a lot. So, yeah, I feel overwhelmed. I become uninterested in whatever is going on around me. I pretend that I am interested. I feel bad about doing the pretending, and then it makes me more overwhelmed and anxious and all the negative feelings. So, I think this is also a form of feedback loop from hell. And now let me come to birthdays. Who came up with the of birthdays? Idea of celebrating birthdays. I do not like that kind of attention. I don't know how do people celebrate their birthdays, how people become the center of attention for just being born where they did nothing. How do people claim such kind of a celebration? Now, I'm not dissing on anyone who celebrates their birthday. I mean, sometimes my birthday gets celebrated as well. I just don't like that feeling. And now I am here like an old grandpa, just complaining about the entire thing rather than just saying that this is a me problem. I'm just blaming the whole thing. I'm sorry. Happy birthday to all of you. Forgive me. Forgive me, but I hate the concept of birthdays. I'm sorry, but in a way, not really sorry. That whole thing. You're standing in front of a cake, in between everyone, you're the center. Everyone is clapping for you, and for what? People, ever since have gone on my job, I have given a few presentations, and people clap when I give a really good point, and it feels nice that people are actually clapping because they liked the point that I just shared with them. But everyone clapping for you for being born is just, I don't know, weird for me. Don't mind me, anyone. You see, if I'm gonna talk about Overwhelm, and especially on my birthday, I am going to complain a bit, or more than a bit, about the concept of birthdays because I don't like them. And I also don't like this part of episode is kind of turning on me just dissing on things because now I was just gonna say that I also don't like people who want extra attention and extra points on their birthdays. Like, hello, so what? I do make people feel special on their birthdays, but people who ask for it, well, that's a bit, you know, bratty to make things all about you, to think that this is your special day and you should be the main character today. Well, you are the main character, darling, every day in your life. But even on your birthday, you don't become the main character on anyone else's life. Unless, like, someone loves you and they tell you, like, you're the main character of my life. That's really nice. Well, actually, one of my friends did say that to me, and it felt great, to be honest. It, I got emotional but you get what I'm saying. I'm sure we all have met those kinds of people who are just like, this is my birthday, this is my day, and there should be an extra effort made today to make me feel special. I say entitlement. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up about my rant on birthdays now and just go back to talking about the overwhelming feelings. I think whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed and I get a little bit of time alone, I also start feeling sad. I think it's again the feedback loop that I feel bad about being overwhelmed. So it like contributes to increasing the negative feelings. It's always like this. If you get have one negative feeling, another one comes in and another one comes in, it becomes a whole magnet that attracts a bunch of negativity and makes you feel just extra horrible. And then because of all that negativity, you act negatively, and well, it has negative effects on you again. And just everything increases exponentially. I was searching for a poem that I could not remember, and I wanted to read that poem to you that I really liked, and it was a really calming poem, but I can't remember the name of it. So, but it's a good thing that I couldn't remember the name of it, because as we're talking about anxiety and overwhelming feelings, I want to share something from Islam that is really, really beneficial for you when you're feeling overwhelmed and anything. Even generally, I feel like whenever you're overwhelmed, I know a lot of things help, and it's not necessary that every time this would help you, but just listening to a good recitation of Holy Quran feels really soothing and calming. And like I think I said before, we should always read Quran or listen to Quran with translation so we can understand what Allah is saying to us. And oftentimes we do, I think I do put on Surah Yasin if I'm feeling anxious. I don't do that all the time. I'm not saying that I do this every time that I'm stressed or overwhelmed, but whenever I do feel good. Yeah, Quran holds so much peace in it for us if only we would hold it. And there is an ayah in the Quran that goes something like, the truly the peace is in the remembrance of Allah. And that is right. I'm not disregarding you feeling overwhelmed and saying, oh, you should offer prayers and you should read Quran and then you won't have any stress and tension or anything like that. But it does help and blesses you, If you call upon Allah in the times of stress, He will listen to you. I also want to talk about Surah Ad-Duha because it's just really, really beautiful, and the story of its revelation is also one we should know. And I'm gonna read this article where it is written, Surah Ad-Duha was revealed to Prophet Muhammad (SAW) at a time when he had not received any revelation for 6 months, not even in the form of a dream. The Prophet ﷺ was in a very disturbed state of mind, feeling negative and depressed, and believing that Allah was displeased with him, had forgotten him, and did not want him as a Nabi anymore. Don't we have similar feelings in our lives? Times when our level of Iman is low, our khushu in Salah wavers, and we feel a drop in our connection with Allah. I talked about that, right? So, what does this surah say? I'm gonna read the translation to you guys. By the morning brightness, and the night when it covers with darkness, your Lord has not taken leave on you, O Muhammad, nor has he detested you, and the hereafter is better for you than the first life, and your Lord is going to give you, and you will be satisfied. Did he not find you an orphan and give you refuge? And he found you lost and guided you. and he found you poor and made you self sufficient. So as for the orphan, do not oppress him, and as for a petitioner, do not repel him, but as for the favor of your Lord, report it. I just, wow. It's just that this ayah where Allah says that I just literally have goosebumps right now on my body because I am right now really overwhelmed and this just feels so good. It's like the best ayah you can hear when you feel stressed and lost. And Allah says that, and He found you lost and guided you. Like He's saying that, why don't you trust in me? Every time I found you lost and I guided you and I gave you, did I not give you? And we have to ask ourselves every time, like, did Allah not give us anything? Like, every new phase in our life, is it not a blessing? Like, I see people get stressed over jobs and everything, but aren't they thankful towards Allah that they got a job, you know? And also, it is so reassuring as look at how the surah starts. Allah says, by the morning brightness and the night when it covers with darkness. Like, those are the things that are supposed to make us feel at peace, you know, morning time, the sun, the brightness, the light, it takes you out of a dark place. But then he also mentions the night and how it is peaceful when it's covered with darkness and it's made for you because oftentimes when we are overwhelmed and we're anxious and stressed, we develop insomnia, we don't sleep at night very well, we are consumed by our thoughts at night, we can't sleep. But the night is made for us to rest and to be at peace. And Allah saying that is just so reassuring that I was just saying I find peace when I'm alone at night under the night sky. And to see how when Allah was comforting Prophet, peace be upon him, he mentioned the morning and the night and the sky basically. So it's just like really beautiful and really reassuring. I can't tell you how much I like this because it's so true. It's so true. The night is so peaceful and so beautiful. It makes all my overwhelm go away if I just get enough time. It's really healing. And just like the thing that Allah just says, look up. Just look at the night and the look at the morning. And it's also in a way I take it that whenever I'm feeling down and whenever I'm talking to Allah, I tend to look up. I know a lot of people lower their heads and I do too, but when I'm like I really want to talk to Allah, I always look up because we know that Allah is, there on the seventh sky in this world that we cannot see, but Allah is up there, up in the skies. So I always look up and find peace. All my life, I have found peace looking up at the sky. I don't know if I've said this before, but the sky is my favorite thing in this world. And there's this quotation or something that goes like, the sky is an infinite movie for me. I never get tired of looking up what's happening up there, and it's true. And I love the sky, and ever since I was a child, when I was sad, when I was so happy, anything, I look up at the sky and I find my peace there. And I know that Allah is there as well. So just sky sky makes me really peaceful and happy. And in Surat Ad-Duha, Allah says that look at the morning and look at the night and then see, have I not given you? Be okay. And it's just so nice to hear that. And I think we should always be reciting Surat Ad-Duha so we never feel lost. So I think even recording this episode and being out on the rooftop for this amount of time has been enough. I feel quite good right now, and I hope that if any one of you is feeling overwhelmed or stressed about anything, or if you're feeling numb, I wish that you feel okay again. And mind this, that these things are just, they come and go. You cannot be happy all the time, you cannot be okay all the time. So it's all right, it's okay. Let yourself be sad and let yourself be overwhelmed, but just know that you have to come back, and it's just a cycle of life. I hope your Ramazan goes amazing and you keep your fast and collect all the blessings of this month. I'll find you guys in another episode. Till then, goodbye and Allah Hafiz. And in Ramzan especially, please drink water when you're not fasting.